Might
It's
need to
like,
be
no.
You might need to. We're live. We're live for Sound Booth Theater Live. Hello, everybody. I am Jeff Hayes. I'm joined by Mr. Joshua Mason, author of Steampunk Alley. Is that what's called?
Steam, steam whistle.
Steam Whistle Alley. Steam Whistle Alley. And now, author of 8-Bit Bastards, which is his new project that's up on Royal Road currently. If you want to check it out, it is in the link down below, in the description down below. So Josh, how you doing, man?
I'm doing good, man. It's my third time on this show. Actually, I'm happy to be here. It seems like every time I'm on, I get read next to the creepiest, weirdest shit, though, and I don't know if it's planned that way or.
I think it's a compliment to you. I think everyone who votes is like, oh man, the only thing that could make this stream better is if we put Joshua Mason stuff on there. So
Next to Chuck Tinkle or Donald Trump, yeah.
Yeah. Next to either of those people, very similar
Yeah.
individuals.
Well, they both have shirtless thumbnails on the cover too, so it's like I'm all over the place.
So yeah, can you tell us a bit about? Okay, I'm personally, I haven't read it at all, but I'm personally very excited just by the title, 8-Bit Bastards. Can you tell people about this new project and what is going on?
Well, I'm a big retro gaming fan. I used to work at Nintendo back in the day as a gameplay counselor. This was like before the dawn of the internet. So like people would call me up and say, "Hey, I'm stuck in the Legend of Zelda and I can't find the hammer. Where do I go?" And it was my job to guide them through their quest, reach their destination, stuff like that. And so yeah, ever since then, man, I've loved all the classics, all the NES, Super NES, Genesis, old computer games, MUDs, and text-based adventures, and so much is done in like the VR stuff and lit RPG and game with these days. I wanted to take it back to the old school a little bit. So
Awesome. So this particular book, what can you run us through the plot? Like what exactly is happening? I mean, how do you even write a story around an 8-bit game? They're so two-dimensional.
yeah, well, it starts off like the main character has been living for 700 years in this virtual reality afterlife. That's been done a few times in the RPG world, but there's this one section of it that was just meant for like the original gamers, the first people that started the whole gaming craze back in the late 20th century, because the very first people uploaded to the simulation were born in the late 20th century, and that transferred over to the simulation sometime in the late 21st century. So they remember what it's like to play with a 2-button, 1-button controller and stuff like this. So they created this section of this afterlife, just because they got this infinite space to build stuff in. They created this one very 8-bit, very retro, very pixelated area of the simulation just to cater to these guys, just because it's another area they can go and play in and stuff like that. The area is called the Bit Realm. It turns out that it's buggy as hell, though, so nobody ever goes there. It just kind of freaks everybody out. So the main character, Sean, he gets word that him and an old fling of his actually had a kid, and the great, 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 great grandson of this little tryst they had somehow hacked his way in and got dumped in the Bit Realm. So they have to go on this quest to go save their descendant, pretty much.
Whoa.
Is the plot.
This is
Yeah.
pretty cool. I like this idea. All right.
The betas have had a lot of good things to say about it so far. So I'm hoping it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, let's take a look at your cover. I wish Royal Road had bigger covers.
I could have sent you a big one, man. I didn't even think about that, but actually,
can you like pull it up on your computer and screen share?
God, if I could figure out the hell how.
There's just a screen share button at the top left of the Google Hangout whenever you're ready.
Yeah, okay, hold on.
Meanwhile, let's look at our production notes here. Are there any spoilers in here that I need to worry about?
At the bottom, you'll see something that's just for your eyes only.
Okay, got it.
It's
all right. So we have our MC, Sean. I hear him as the Big Lebowski when I read him in my head. So like Jeff Lebowski, right? Getting
Yeah.
fed up with the constant repetition, immortality bears with it. A lifetime womanizer, but is beginning to change his ways. Mark, nerdy know it all bookworm, maybe a bit nasal. Got it? Heather, Midwestern girl, worked for centuries to lose her Minnesota accent. A strong woman, not really a girly girl. Do with her what you will. Claudia, badass monk girl with a mouth like a truck driver. In my head, I hear her as Rosa from Brooklyn Nine-Nine. She's got an attitude, this one. Brooklyn Nine-Nine. I've never watched that show. Let's
She's kind of like an in your face, kind of a she doesn't take shit from anybody kind of girl. She's very outspoken. She swears like a truck driver too.
Okay. I got it. Nestler, skeletal ferryman. I hear him as Norm Macdonald's Grim Reaper from Family Guy. All right. Basically a 40-year-old that still lives with his parents kind of voice, or an aging frat boy. Oh, my shit went blank. Here we go. Setup. The party has been living for centuries in a virtual afterlife called After All, which they've gotten bored with. The AI informs them that a direct descendant of Sean and Heather has hacked his way in, and the party must venture to the Bit Realm to save him. We find the party on the bank of the river, separating After All from the Bit Realm. Got it. All right. And here we go. Levels 1 through 8, Fingers of Bone. And just to remind everybody, the link to the Royal Road publication of 8-Bit Bastards is in the description below. All right. Anything else you want to say before I get started, Joshua?
No, I tried to bring up that cover, but it was slowing everything down. I'm on a laptop here, so.
Ah, crap. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and click on it. We'll at least look at the Royal Road version, and it'll be a bit pixelated, but you know what?
It fits.
It's not a problem. All right, here we go. Ah! Okay, so we'll go ahead and geez, get that out here. All right, so we have we have a very typical looking boss fight, and
Well,
the
Boss Fight was based on the old NES black box covers. So I mean, the Boss Fight and the book based their art off the same thing. Like the first 10 Nintendo games had this style of cover on it, so that's what I went with. It's pretty recognizable.
absolutely. But wait, his name is Boss Fight.
No, Boss Fight is a card game that used the
Oh,
same art on their box for the game.
gotcha. All right. I did not know about that.
It's a fun game.
I was using the term very generally.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So that's the cover. I'm really excited about this. All right. Here goes. Oh wait, I'm sorry. One more thing. I remember people were giving me shit about not answering them, I think, in the chat. Let's see what people are saying. Uh Hello, how you? Oh no, so Bon Bon's still having Amazon issues. Super frustrating.
Somebody says we're a volume knob apart or something like that. I don't know who's louder.
Okay, we'll look that up. Things happening. Sucks to hear bye. Hi Jeff. Hi. You work for the Nintendo Power Line. Why? Okay, why did I get whacked here? Who whacked me? Bon, why did you whack me? Because you waved and I didn't respond. Hi, Bon. Uh, chirp, chirp, chirp. Okay. Um. So wait, where's the? I saw something about levels. Where to go? Bouncy. Okay,
Oh,
you
it's
are about half.
level 1-8, by the way.
Okay, so oh, I see.
You're not reading 8 chapters. It's level 1-8. That's the chapter naming system I went with.
Gotcha. All right, I just turned myself up a little bit. I hope that's better. All right, here goes. Level 1. Levels 1 through 8. Wait, say that one more
One
time.
dash 8.
1-8. Level
Or
1
just level 1-8.
dash
Yeah.
8. Yeah. Fingers of bone. Sean looked over the river with his hands on his hips. Everything was exactly how he remembered it. Oh yeah. As if it could be anything else. He had crossed these waters before, briefly experiencing the madness that was the Bit Realm. Nobody was sure why the insanity crept into you, but it did, incessantly, from the moment you set foot on the other side. A blocky fish jumped out of the very high-resolution water. The river had aspects of both the banks. They stood on the normal, sharply defined world of After All. Across the river, though, things got odd. Sean knew that across this river, on closer inspection, every tree, every mob they'd encounter, the sun, the moon, the stars, every blade of grass would be rendered in glorious 8-bit resolution. In theory, a fun afternoon in the pixelated park. He thought back to his first visit. Within minutes, his body went through changes, slowly losing focus as it devolved to fit the simulation. When the pixels started creeping up his arms, the emotions, the voices, the madness started seeping into his brain. At first, it was just a trickle, like a leak in a dam. But as the leak grew, the insanity began rushing in. Sean clutched the amulet to his chest. Bartleby better know what the hell he's doing. Claudia held her arms out toward the raging river. Okay, I gotta remember which one is Claudia.
She's the badass.
She's the bad. Okay, Claudia's the badass. Heather's the Midwestern girl. Strong. Okay. How on the goddess's green tits are we supposed to cross this? Well, that would certainly be one interesting way to cross, Mark chimed in. Last time, which granted was 500 years ago, I had to find a stump. You squat by the stump for 5 seconds, and Nestler appears. Heather looked perplexed. You had to squat on a stump? Mark shook his head and held up his explaining finger. No, I said by a stump. And that was centuries ago. Might have changed since then. Shaw nodded. Nestler was a weird one. Spooky hooded ferryman sort of guy. Never talked much. Gave me the creeps. Claudia looked around. Well, there's a stump. Let's go cop a squat. They followed the monk toward the indicated stump. Now what? She asked. We squat, Mark said, sitting on his heels. The rest of the party followed suit. 30 boring seconds ticked by, with nothing to show for it but another low-resolution fish making a daring leap for the sky. This is fucking ridiculous, Claudia spat. How the hell? Heather cut her off. Look! Across the river, a thick fog began to grow. It coalesced until it completely obscured the opposite bank in a gray, undulating blanket. A figure emerged from it, robed in blue. It stood on a narrow raft, which it pulled across the river toward them. The party got to their feet. The outline of the ferryman was clear, yet it wasn't. Sean bit back a grin as the women blinked, their brains trying to make sense of the image in front of them. It was as if someone had built the Grim Reaper out of Legos and animated it. The figure's hooded head was bowed. Bowed. He had a bowed head. The figure's hooded head was bowed, obscuring its face. As the raft neared the bank, the form extended a skeletal hand, a pixelated finger. A pixelated finger pointing directly at them. The air around the party grew cold, and Sean suppressed a shiver. Claudia nudged Heather in the ribs with an elbow. "Quit holding your breath," Heather exhaled, and her expression grew steely. The hooded form drifted to a stop, the raft scraping against the gravel of the bank in front of them. It let the pole fall to the ground, then spread its blue-sleeved arms out to its sides. He raised his head. "What's up, bitches?" The girls shared a glance. "Man, it's been ages since anybody has summoned me. I mean, I have one job to do. Well, two jobs, really, but this is the fun one." He stepped off the raft and walked up to Sean and Mark, clapping a blocky, bony hand on each of their shoulders. "I remember you guys, just like everyone else. Came over thinking to conquer, and 15 minutes later you were begging me to go back, ranting about the voices and the itching and the whatnot." Sean ran a hand through his hair. "Yep, that was us. So you're going to go over again? Should I leave the engine running?" "Ha ha!" Mark rolled his eyes. "Good to see you haven't lost your sense of humor." "Yeah, well, you kind of need it when you're made out of blocks and haven't had much to do for the past 5 centuries." Nestler cocked his head to one side. "No, but really, I haven't got to play ferryman in ages. You think you're going to last more than 10 minutes this time?" Sean clutched his amulet. "I think we're good. But there's only one way to know for certain. I'll wait around just in case. Anywho, I can only take 2 of you at a time." He pulled down his hood and pointed at the women with bony fingered guns. "Ladies first." Claudia approached Nestler and took his skeletal arm. "I like this guy. Heather, you coming?" The skeleton snorted. "Not yet. Huh? Huh?" Nestler held out his arms to Mark and Sean for approval, which wasn't forthcoming. Nestler led the girls onto the raft and picked up his pole. "I'll be back in 10 minutes." He looked at each of the girls in turn before pushing off the bank. "Maybe 20. Don't wait up." Sean heard Nestler mumble something about working his pole as they drifted out into the fog. Mark furrowed his brow. "I don't remember him being so talkative." Sean stared at the spot where the fog had closed behind the raft, then took a seat on the stump. "Yeah, guess 500 years in the bit realm will drive even an NPC loopy. So, that monk's pretty cute, yeah?" Mark's face went through at least 4 emotions before it settled on incredulousness. "Claudia? Sure, she's attractive, but she couldn't be farther from my type. I need a fellow bookworm, not some toilet mouth with no regard for decency. I mean, have you seen her outfit? Nobody needs their belly button constantly exposed to the world like that." Sean snorted. "Belly buttons bother you? Dude, Mark, you've been here as long as I have. Been around the block a few times, I'm sure." Mark stared off into space. "Not really. Not since Maina left me. It's just not my thing, you know?" Sean remained silent for a moment. "Mark, I am sorry about that. I really am. I was a different guy then. I know that doesn't excuse anything." He tried to steer the conversation away from his past transgressions. "But I really think Claudia likes you." "I'm serious. She used the same speeder trick that I've used on multiple occasions. Open up the throttle, and player 2 has to hang on for dear life." Mark glared. "That trick work on my sister, too?" Sean sighed. "It fucking sucks having to deal with mistakes you made 500 years ago." He opened and closed his mouth a couple times, but hooded skeleton reappearing before being saved by the hooded skeleton reappearing from the fog. Nestler pulled the raft up to the bank. Sean stood up. "You're back quicker than I expected. No problems?" "Nope. Smooth as a waxed bikini line." The skeleton buffed his non-existent fingernails on his robe. "Things did get a little wet on the way over," Nestler said with a wink. "Well, A pixelated eye socket became a pixelated line for a half second. Mark rolled his eyes. God, even the NPCs are debauchers. Is that how you say that word, debauchers?
Yeah.
Who said anything about NPC? I'm a full-fledged AA. I'm a full-fledged AI now, bitches. Sean raised an eyebrow. I thought Bartleby was the only AI in after all. Nestler leaned on his pole. Well, originally, yes. But when the frag problem got a bit out of hand, he broke off a little something something from his own code and stuck it in me. Gave me a few centuries of Earth media to watch, let me build my own personality. Said couldn't enter Bit Realm, and Nestler the NPC was already there, so it was a win-win. Sean gave a slow nod of understanding. That explains a lot. Mark was taking notes. He tapped a pencil to his lips before pointing it at Nestler. I don't get it. Why can't Bartleby enter Bit Realm? The skeleton shrugged. Screws him up, man. Don't know why. I have a few snippets of his memories. Fucked up guy, by the way. Don't tell him I said that. Anyway, he tried entering a few times back before yours truly split off. Scrambled his brain like an egg. Mark scribbled furiously. And you? Why doesn't it fry you as well? Nestler considered the question. Dunno, man. I guess because I was born here? Originally, as an NPC, my only job was to ferry people over. Bartleby hooked me up, and it was smooth sailing from there on out. The skeleton glanced at a bony, watchless wrist. Anyway, we doing this or what? Mark stowed his notepad in his pouch, and the two men stepped onto the raft. When they reached the opposite bank and the fog cleared, Sean had to fight down a sensation of dread. The Bit Realm stretched out before them. The memory of their only other visit still loomed fresh in his mind, despite the passage of centuries, and with it the recollection of the maddening confusion that came with it. The river quickly gave way to a forest, almost cartoon-like in its vibrancy. The girls waited for them on the muddy bank. Muddy might not be the correct word. The grape-sized blocks that comprised the riverbank did give the appearance of mud. However, the grape-sized blocks that comprised the riverbank did give the appearance of mud, however, and when Sean took his first step off the raft, his foot sank slightly with an embarrassing sound. Wasn't me, protested Nestler. Anyway, on the infinitesimal chance that someone else needs to cross the river, I'm off. He handed Sean a coin, all pixels, just like him. It was a gray oval the size of Sean's palm, with a darker gray oval around the rim. Sean only knew it as a coin from his console days. If you need me for anything, he paused to give another of the empty eye socket winks to the women. Flip the coin in the air. I'll come see what's up. He pushed the raft out into the water with his pole, then made a sideways peace sign with two bony digits. Peace out, bitches! That's one strange NPC, Mark said as he watched the figure drift along with the river current. AI, corrected Sean, following Mark's gaze. The fog had cleared when Nestler departed, and Sean already found it comforting to look at the river. He peeled himself away to address the crew. Okay, this place is disorienting, so we're going to take our time. I can already tell the amulets are working. The first time I was here, it felt like electric ants were swarming under my skin. I'm getting none of that now. Sean looked down at his hands. We're going to start to change. I didn't last long enough for full conversion last time, but the first pixels you will see will creep you out. I already got a pixel, said Claudia, holding out her palm for the party to see. There, on the pale flesh next to the crease of her lifeline, was a postage stamp-sized block. It was roughly the same color as her skin, but smooth and glossy. The rest of the crew gathered round it. Mark already had his notebook and pencil in hand, making a quick sketch. He squinted as he traced a finger along Claudia's palm. Feels normal to me. Interesting. Claudia wrapped her hand around his finger and began pumping it back and forth slowly. Then looked at Mark with a smile and eyes that would melt adamantium. Mark froze like a deer in headlights. Sean came to his rescue, taking Claudia's hand and examined the pixel for himself.
I'm glad that cracked somebody else up.
Uh, does it hurt? Can you feel anything out of the ordinary? She shook her head. No, feels like skin. He nodded. Good. The last time he was here, each pixel felt like it had been branded into his skin with a rod of ice. Sean took stock of his surroundings. The tree line, which in this case was quite nearly an actual line, was perhaps 50 yards away. He hadn't noticed during his first mad visit, but distances here could be hard to judge. He counted 6 different tree patterns. This wasn't surprising. Old sprite-based games suffered from limitations with memory and stamped out 1 or 2 clones of the same sprite to create a forest. Sometimes grassland was only 1 repeated tile. Here, at least, the grass leading up to the forest appeared appropriately random. The problem with Bitrealm was that the 2-dimensional motif was recreated in 3 dimensions and could be naturally disorienting. Madness or no. How am I supposed to write with this? Mark asked. He held his pencil, which now resembled a stick of butter, at arm's length. He pulled his notebook out of his pocket. It looked like someone had created it out of Jolly Ranchers. Sean glanced over his shoulder while Mark tested out the transformed stationery. The writing was low res, but recognizable. M plus C with a heart around it. Sean smiled and pretended to look up at the sky when Mark turned around. I didn't get that one. M plus C. Oh, I see.
Mark and Claudia.
I see.
Poor boy's got a crush.
Okay, so he's the one who wrote that. I was like, who wrote that? Okay. So, where are we headed? Heather asked. Sean looked down at his amulet. It's pointing northwest. Forest it is, then, Claudia said, and began trekking through the high grass with long strides. The rest of the group fell in behind her. Halfway to the tree line, 3 green teardrops the size of basketballs came bopping out of the grass. Each had 2 single-pixel eyes and no other facial features. Are those slimes? Creepy little bastards. On the edge of hearing, a chippy, insistent tune began to play. It struck Sean as familiar. It didn't even dawn on the party that the things were hostile until one of them leapt at Heather, slurping her in the face before jumping back. A red 1 rose above her head, then vanished. Tiny, light blue pixels of slime dripped down her face. She took a step back. Well, that was unpleasant. Her expression turned angry. Fire mage it is, then. She put her hands together in the gesture she had used to summon her alternate persona. But nothing happened. The slime slurped her again. She went through a series of motions, each designed to summon a different class, all of which Sean recognized. She tried to summon her thief, her warrior, a variety of mages. No dice. The rest of the party started doing strange little dances as they tried to summon their alter egos as well. Again, no joy. Mark went into panic mode. What the hell? Where's all my characters? Not good! Not good! He looked down at his hands, which now looked to be made out of bathroom floor tiles. Ah! Sean reached out and put a steadying hand on his shoulder. Mark! Mark shrugged off the hand, then said something he hadn't said in centuries. Show stats! Instead of the normal, intricately designed stat table they had grown used to, a blocky square appeared in front of him, the border and letters appearing to float. Name, Mark. Class, Sprout. Level, 1. HP, 32 out of 32. MP, 0 out of 0. Attack, 5. Armor class, 5, plus 3. Strength, 5. Vitality, 5. Intelligence, 4. Cunning, 6. Dexterity, 2. Luck, 3. Wielding. Right hand, nothing. Left hand, nothing. Wearing, head, nothing. Body, cloth shirt, +1. Legs, cloth pants, +1. Feet, leather shoes, +1. Carrying, nothing. Status, normal. Level 1, Mark said. Mark said quietly, then sunk to his knees. The rest of the team brought up their screens as well, to similar results. I was worried this might happen. Sean ran his hand, still normal, through his hair. I heard rumors. I think we'll get our levels and all our stuff back when we leave Bit Realm. Mark made a beeline for the riverbank. Nestler! Nestler! Come get us! We're going back! Where? Sean ran after Mark, grabbed him by the shoulder, spun him around, and slapped him. Mark blinked. Yeah, okay, level 1. The slimes continued to hop around them, occasionally jumping in with a hit. They stung like jellyfish. Show HP, said Sean, another phrase he hadn't uttered in ages. He chuckled when he saw the result. 40 HP! Oh, the horror. Well, sticks and stones it is then, Sean said as he picked up a sturdy-looking branch. He took a swing at the closest slime, which dissolved into a pool of pixels when he connected. A blocky red 3 briefly hovered over the puddle before fading out. Claudia grabbed a branch as well, dispatching one of her own, while Mark and Heather opted to lob stones. They got rid of the 3 slimes, as well as 3 more that appeared toward the end of the battle. After the last slime was splattered, a chiptune fanfare filled the air, and a message box appeared in front of each party member. Sean glanced at his with a smile. Sean, level up. Level 2. Strength +1, Intelligence +1, Cunning +2, Luck +1, HP +12, 52 out of 52. Holy shit! I can't remember the last time I leveled up. Scratch that, Sean said. July 7th, 2389. Maxed out at level 750. Claudia punched Sean in the arm. Ha! Beatcha! March 2385. Sean examined the patches of grass where the slimes dissolved and found 2 piles of tiny coins. They looked like miniature versions of the one Nestler had given them, but yellow. He was about to pick one up when Heather interrupted them. Guys, you're closed! Everyone engaged in the imprecise dance of looking at oneself without a mirror. To a person, their clothes were replaced with brown tunics and trousers with matching boots, all with the resolution of a graphing calculator. To Sean, they still felt comfortable, like regular fabric. Mark was the first to completely change. Sean didn't witness the actual transformation, but it couldn't have taken long. His bowl cut and glasses rendered well, and he was instantly recognizable as Mark. All in all, it wasn't a bad look on him. Heather was the next to change, then Claudia, then Sean. When they had gotten over the shock, Sean picked up the coins from the battle, 18 in all, and slid them into his pouch. You guys ready? He asked, and was answered with an affirmative chorus. Let's go find Pliny. Pliny or Pliny?
Plenty.
Let's go find Pliny. And that's it, dude. I'm excited for this one.
Oh,
This
cool,
is
man.
great.
Glad you liked it.
Okay.
Your Nestler was spot on. That was great.
Nice. Yeah, actually, I tried the Norm Macdonald voice, but I'm not sure if I hit. I don't think I did. But it still felt natural. Still felt pretty
Well, good.
good.
It sounded good.
Okay. Yeah, I really liked him. Okay, so we got. You broke Jeff. Apparently, you broke him. Breaking Jeff is the best. See, I'm not the only one with a dirty mind. Oh yeah. Yes. I will be doing a Trump rap later. Oh man. It's so stupid.
it's
It's
one of the worst things I've ever heard. It's like who suggested this? Who put that up there?
Michael Ryan Soilo.
Oh, jeez.
He is a professional Jeff breaker. He is so good at it. Oh man. He's the one who first created. What's his name? Uh, the Space Raptor Butt Invasion guy.
Tingle.
Tingle,
No.
Chuck Tingle, yeah. Yep. So thank you so much for requesting that one, Josh. I'm looking forward to it. How far is it? How far are you in writing it?
Book one is done. Book two is 95% done. Book one is just getting finished with the editing. They're going to be shorter books, so they're short novels, long novellas. But I got a series of 9 of them that I'm planning to drop in a period of about 8 or 9 months. So
Oh, cool.
it'll be fun.
So how many words is book one?
Book one is 42,000.
Okay.
So they are on the shorter side. They're not, epic novels by any chance, but I mean, by any means. But they're just going to be a big collection of them, and I'm going to put them at 99 cents, I think, and in Kindle Unlimited. So it'll be fun.
What now? Isn't that kind of the format that Caverns and Creatures is?
Yeah, and he did well. So
Yeah.
Plus, I'm hoping that this cover is just going to get people to click when they recognize it.
So that's
I
the
mean,
final
it's like,
cover. That's the final cover, right?
yeah.
Cool. I think people will click on it. So yeah, man, thanks again for requesting that. I hope you
Well,
request it some more in the future. And yeah, one more time, guys, check out the link in the description below for the Royal Road publication of it. I was hoping that Charles would be here soon, because I'm doing the Declaration of Independence now
hey,
for.
Angel's here. What's up, zombie? Angel's the guy that suggested mine, actually. You just missed it, Angel.
I'm gonna give Charles like 2 minutes.
Now, what voice is the declaration going to be read in?
Miller.
Oh, okay.
Miller from War Eternus.
I'm not
Okay.
looking forward to this Trump rap, man.
All right. He's not coming. He's not coming.
Oh,
Woman has him by the balls right now.
my woman's upstairs. Hi, Francine. She's watching. Oh, and it's my mother's birthday. Happy birthday, Mom. She's not watching because she stayed through Chuck Tingle last time, and she said she's not coming back.
Aw.
It's like, why is it a Tide Pod? I don't understand. Just like, nobody understands, Mom. It's
stupid. That's okay. All right. So here's the thing, guys. I have to do the Declaration of Independence as Miller. Now I don't have my Charles Dean backup. So we don't have anyone for Josh to help distract you guys. Because I need at least 10 minutes to try and practice this rap before I perform it. And I was gonna do that on mute. I didn't have time to do it before the show. So any authors that are watching now, if you wanna come onto the stream and bullshit with Joshua for a little bit while I practice, please send me Facebook messages, and
Taj.
I will send you guys a Google Hangout link. You guys can bullshit to keep people entertained while I practice. So I'll do the Declaration of Independence now, and then I will check my Facebook for volunteers to co-host while I while I practice. Okay. So is this it? Okay, so I think I found it. For anyone who doesn't know who Miller is, he is one of the most important characters in the War Eternus series. And Charles told me that he wanted him to sound pretty much like Arnold. So I did my best to like do an impression of Arnold, and then as his voice developed, it sort of became its own thing, but still clearly an Arnold. It's more like if Arnold like if you were to catch Arnold right after he injected some HGH or something, like
Oh, Schwarzenegger.
yeah.
I thought you meant Hey Arnold. I went to the cartoon for some reason. I was like, that's not what I
There
pictured
is
him as.
there is one Arnold, sir. There is one Arnold in our culture.
Yeah, okay. I'm with you. I'm on the same page.
Okay. All right, here goes. This is going to be very patriotic. I hope you guys have tissues. In Congress, July 4, 1776. The unanimous declaration of the 13 United States of America. When in the course of human events, it becomes necessary for one people to dissolve the political bands which have connected them with another, and to assume among the powers of the earth the separate and equal station to which the laws of nature and of nature's God entitle them. A decent respect to the opinions of mankind requires that they should declare the causes which impel them to the separation. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. That to secure these rights, governments are instituted among men, deriving their just powers from the consent of the governed. That whenever any form of government becomes destructive of these ends, it is the right of the people to alter or to abolish it, and to institute new government, laying its foundation on such principles and organizing its powers in such form as to them shall seem most likely to affect their safety and happiness. Prudence, indeed, will dictate that governments long established should not be changed for light and transient causes, and accordingly all experience hath shewn. Should that be shown, like in common parlance? Shewn that mankind are more disposed to suffer, while evils are sufferable, than to right themselves by abolishing the forms to which they are accustomed. But when a long train of abuses and usurpations, pursuing invariably the same object, evinces a design to reduce them under absolute despotism, it is their right, it is their duty, to throw off such government and provide new guards for their future security. Such has been the patient sufferance of these colonies, and such is now the necessity which constrains them to alter their former systems of government. The history of the present King of Great Britain is a history of repeated injuries and usurpations, all having in direct object the establishment of an absolute tyranny over these states. To prove this, let facts be submitted to a candid world. He has refused his assent to laws, the most wholesome and necessary for the public good. He has forbidden his governors to pass. I'm sorry.
You went longer than I
Sometimes I run
expected.
into, Arnold trigger words, right? He has forbidden his governors to pass laws of immediate and pressing importance, unless suspended in their operation till his assent should be obtained. And when so suspended, he has utterly neglected to attend to them. He has refused to pass other laws for the accommodation of large districts of people, unless those people would relinquish the right of representation in the legislature, a right inestimable to them and formidable to tyrants only. He has called together legislative bodies at places unusual, uncomfortable, and distant from the depository of their public records, for the sole purpose of fatiguing them into compliance with his measures. He has dissolved representative houses repeatedly for opposing with manly firmness his invasions on the rights of the people. He has refused for a long time, after such dissolutions, to cause others to be elected, whereby the legislative powers, incapable of annihilation, have returned to the people at large for their exercise, the state remaining in the meantime exposed to all the dangers of invasion from without and convulsions within. Yeah. He has endeavored to prevent the population of these states, for that purpose obstruct. Remember, guys, you voted for this. Just saying. For that purpose, obstructing the laws of naturalization of foreigners, refusing to pass others to encourage their migrations hither, and raising the conditions of new appropriations of lands. He has obstructed the administration of justice by refusing his assent to laws for establishing judiciary powers. He has made judges dependent on his will alone for the tenure of their offices and the amount and payment of their salaries. He has erected a multitude of new offices and sent hither swarms of officers to harass our people and eat out their substance. He has kept among us, in times of peace, standing armies without the consent of our legislatures. He has effected to render the military independent of and superior to the civil power. He has combined with others to subject us to a jurisdiction foreign to our constitution and unacknowledged by our laws, given his assent to their acts of pretended legislation, for quartering large bodies of armed troops among us, for protecting them by a mock trial from punishment for any murders which they should commit on these inhabitants of these states, for cutting off our trade with all parts of the world, for imposing taxes on us without our consent, for depriving us in many cases of the benefits of trial by jury, for transporting us beyond seas to be tried for pretended offenses, for abolishing the free system of English laws in a neighboring province, establishing therein an arbitrary government, and enlarging its boundaries so as to render it at once an example and fit instrument for introducing the same absolute rule into these colonies, for taking away our charters, abolishing our most valuable laws, and altering fundamentally the forms of our governments, for suspending our own legislatures and declaring themselves invested with power to legislate for us in all cases whatsoever. He has abdicated government here by declaring us out of his protection and waging war against us. He has plundered our seas, ravaged our coasts, burnt our towns, and destroyed the lives of our people. He is at this time transporting large armies of foreign mercenaries to complete the works of death, desolation, and tyranny already begun with circumstances of cruelty and perfidy scarcely paralleled in the most barbarous ages and totally unworthy the head of a civilized nation. He has constrained our fellow citizens taken captive on the high seas to bear arms against the country, to become the executioners of their friends and brethren, or to fall themselves by their hands. He has excited domestic insurrections amongst us, and has endeavored to bring on the inhabitants of our frontiers, the merciless Indian savages, whose known rule of warfare is an undistinguished destruction of all ages, sexes, and conditions. In every stage of these oppressions, we have petitioned. In every stage of these oppressions, we have petitioned for redress in the most humble terms. Our repeated petitions have been answered only by repeated injury. A prince whose character is thus marked by every act which may define a tyrant is unfit to be the ruler of a free people. Nor have we been wanting in attentions to our British brethren. We have warned them from time to time of attempts by their legislature to extend an unwarrantable jurisdiction over us. We have reminded them of the circumstances of our emigration and settlement here. We have appealed to their native justice and magnanimity, and we have conjured them by the ties of our common kindred to disavow these usurpations, which would inevitably interrupt our connections and correspondence. They too have been deaf to the voice of justice and of consanguinity. We must, therefore, acquiesce in the necessity which denounces our separation and hold them, as we hold the rest of mankind, enemies in war, in peace, friends. We therefore, almost done. We therefore, the representatives of the United States of America in General Congress, assembled, appealing to the Supreme Judge of the world for the rectitude of our intentions, do, in the name and by authority of the good people of these colonies, solemnly publish and declare that these united colonies are, and of right, ought to be free and independent states, that they are absolved from all allegiance to the British Crown, and that all political connection between them and the state of Great Britain is and ought to be totally dissolved, and that as free and independent states, that they have full power to levy war, conclude peace, contract alliances, establish commerce, and do all other acts and things which independent states may of right do. And for the support of this declaration, with a firm reliance on the protection of divine providence, we mutually pledge to each other our lives, our fortunes, and our sacred honor! There we go.
Wow,
How's
that was life changing, man. That was amazing.
Yeah. Man, that was rough. Oh,
Do you have any voice left?
a little bit. All right. So did I get any messages from anybody? Let's
I
see.
don't know.
Oh, come on, man. We need somebody.
I can't be here for 10 minutes alone.
He needs help, y'all.
Taj, you coming in, man? Angel?
Taj, you should come in.
Yeah, let's do another little storytime theater, like a quick improv storytime theater.
Holy shit, no one should ever be allowed to read this in any other voice ever after that. Yep. Okay. Yeah, Taj, message me so I can, or I can just message you on Facebook. I will find you. Oh, what? He's not. Where is he?
He's here.
I can't find him on.
He's Ian L on Facebook, man.
Ian L. Okay. Nope, not new group. That's not what I wanted. All right.
You find him?
Yep.
We did a storytime theater with Gabriel Rathwig on a little live stream we did a couple months ago, where we each took turns telling a story in like 3-minute chunks, and then we'd have 1 minute to prepare for the next chunk of the story. And it turned out it was interesting. It was interesting. It's evolved into Limp Bizkit somehow. I have no idea how that happened. But
Oh man, why would anything devolve into Limp Bizkit? That's awful.
that was Gabe's fault, actually. I remember distinctly, and we just went along for the ride because you have to finish the story. You have to build on what the person before you added to the story. So it involved potatoes and Limp Bizkit. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Potatoes and Limp Bizkit.
Well, just potatoes were Taj's input. It was like they came downstairs for breakfast in the tavern, and the innkeeper's like, "Well, we got potatoes. We have boiled potatoes. We have fried potatoes. We have mashed potatoes." And this went on for like 2 minutes
potatoes!
This went on for 2 minutes of Taj's part of the story. It was great. Hey, speak of the devil.
We are gathered here today to witness the reading of the Declaration of Independence.
That's already
done. In a voice that was born to destroy Jeff's throat. Yes. Amazing, sir. Amazing.
Okay. Cool. Dude, Taj, thank you so much for coming to help entertain people for a little while I torture myself trying to practice this thing.
I couldn't do this alone.
Yeah.
I totally could.
I couldn't have.
Yeah, probably.
I couldn't do this without you guys because I just didn't have time to practice before the show. So I'm gonna mute myself and turn off the camera so that you don't see me crying. And
hey, where'd I go?
Oh,
well, just so you know, I have not looked in a mirror at all today.
Okay.
So what you get is what you get.
You look fine. You look pretty hot. You're looking pretty hot.
Well, thank you.
All right, so I'll be back soon. You guys talk amongst yourselves.
And we can just vape all day long.
It was just blow clouds, man. That'd be great. So my camera turned off. Hold on.
Where are you? I think we're both off. Where are we?
You showed up and knocked my camera off.
Oh, so I'm showing? That's great.
I see you. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, your camera did turn off. What happened?
I don't know.
Oh, where
Hold
did
on.
Jeff go? Jeff, come back.
Well,
Fix the technical.
Jeff's. Oh, there I am. Jeff's practicing. Jeff's practicing the
I know.
Trump rap.
I just
Have you
needed
heard
him
this
to.
thing?
Yes, unfortunately. Oh my
This
God,
is
yes.
this is going to be
I,
bad, man.
I think, yeah, this is definitely worse than a Chuck Tingle.
He says we might have to beatbox for him too, which could even make it worse, man. I have no clue.
I don't know. I don't know if like if my race card will allow that. I just it's like I don't know. Like I don't know.
I really want to do one of those sound booth or not sound booth, one of those story time theaters again, man. That was freaking that was a riot.
That was great. We really should do that again.
Yeah, we should. I want to animate it. Like I found this little animation program and I started doodling with it, but it's going to take more hours than I have to put into it right now. But
we just have to find enough people on our team to like add animators. Like, hey, you're our animator now. Sweet. And everybody just gives them jobs, and we just pay them a monthly stipend or something. You know.
So if there's any animators out there that would like to be involved in a project, you can reach Taj at 239-414-6221.
Extension 400.
I made up that number. Please don't call it.
I made it up as well. So, here's a question I meant to ask you, Josh. What are you reading right now?
Well, I'm reading my own work over and over and over again. I haven't sat down with a good book in at least 3 months, and that was actually Hunt for Red October. I'm embarrassed to say, but
that's a great book.
It is a great book, and I've read it like 8 times, and there's so much other stuff I should be reading right now, but it was just it was there in the car, and it's like, oh.
Now that you mention it, it's like I want to see what would happen like if you had a lit RPG submarine novel, like a Hunt for Red October type thing. That would be kind of awesome.
Be careful what you shoot at. The submarine only has 42 armor.
What actually would translate pretty good to a lit RPG, but made a horrible movie? Battleship.
Oh God!
Like if you take the idea from the movie and turn it into a like a RPG battle simulator, that would actually be pretty cool for naval battles of a kind.
Yeah, would it be lit RPG? Kind of like I'm trying
to make it lit RPG. Because think about it, if your gunner levels up.
Oh yeah. I get it now. Yeah. Pacific Rim would also work with that, I think.
Oh God, man, there definitely needs to be more mecha.
Yeah, there isn't, man. There's so much other stuff you could do with it. Gardening. No.
Yeah, you definitely actually a book. All right, so that I'm working on right now does have a bit of gardening in it.
Yeah.
So
somebody was writing a Stardew Valley-ish kind of game-lit novel a while back, I heard, and I was looking forward to that one, but I don't know what happened to it. Have you played Stardew Valley?
No, I haven't played anything recently. Like, oh God.
It's research, man. You got to.
I know I have to, but all right, so right now I have a Mac. It's like I could go on Steam, but nothing really is good on Mac. And until I get these next books out, I won't have a platform to really play with.
I bought a, the Raspberry Pi computer.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a little $30 computer. I got one of those, and I got a little case that looks exactly like a Nintendo, but it's about the size of a deck of cards. And I have every single NES, Super NES, Genesis, Game Boy Advance, a bunch of old Commodore games on there. It's got something like 3,500 games on it. And it's just so much fun to dive into those old things.
You know what game I really want to play? I want to play the original Prince of Persia as they had it on the original Mac. I used to love that game.
The one before they added color, like when it was like green graphics on
the black and white one. Yeah, that one would be awesome.
That was fun. I was blown away when that first came out because the animation of the guy climbing and jumping was so realistic. It was
when you hit the spike traps was great. Like game over. Oh man, one of my favorite games ever.
8-Bit Bastards. It opens. He's the main character. Sean is playing a game called Princess Tomato in the Salad Kingdom. which is actually it's kind of a point and click game on the original Nintendo made by Hudson Soft, and they had some actual point and click games that were ported from the PC to the Nintendo, which were kind of awkward because you had to move the pointer around with a controller. But this game is something weird, man. You have to rescue the princess Tomato from the evil King Cucumber, and it's pretty.
What's he doing with that cucumber there? Huh?
I don't know, man. He's the king. He can do whatever he wants with that cucumber.
Yeah.
Where's Jeff? Jeff, you ready?
No, he's not ready. He's that song is a horrible thing.
There's no amount of practice that's going to.
No amount of practice.
Where are you at right now, man?
Me, I'm sitting in my backyard in Philadelphia.
Oh, really?
Huh. To this side, I have the green egg, and to that side, I have something. I have no idea what. And there might be an orange cat that jumps around from time to time.
Speaking of cats, come here. My cat just came down. Is this busy? This is my Manx.
Hello, Manx.
Yeah. Hey, Benini. Where's our Benini? There.
Panini?
You got your Benini. Binini.
Oh, Benini. The director.
Benini. That was Paganini, wasn't it? Was there a director named Benini?
Wait, maybe. I don't know. I could just be totally confusing my references. I've been known for that.
No, the wife named Benini after the song I Want to Eat Apples and Bananas, because you go through each vowel sound. I want to eat apples and beninis. That's where Benini got his name from.
And I love that song, man. Oh God, the Raffi version. Oh God, Raffi and the Sunshine Band. And Angel, it is not cold out here. It's like, I don't know, like 67 degrees. This is more for mosquitoes than actual cold.
I'd say it's like about 60 degrees here, and everybody's out in their tank tops and shorts. It's like when it hit 60 in Seattle, people just, that's like the sun is shining. It's warm.
It's like the vampires are like, yay, time to sparkle. Yeah, so I'm out here in shorts and sandals too, so I get it.
Bonnie said she considered a Stardew Valley type game before. I'd like to see that, Bonnie. That'd be fun. I mean, there's a market for it. God, there's a market for everything, it seems. But
wait, Bonnie,
I don't know.
She'd like to start a what type of game?
Stardew Valley type of game. It's kind of like what's that old game for the Nintendo? The farming game. God.
Like Farmville?
Anybody? No, not Farmville. There's a ocean. God, what is it? It's like Stardew Valley, except it was on the old consoles. Harvest Moon. Thank you, Bonnie.
Yeah. Harvest Moon.
Those were way too much fun. Back when I worked at Nintendo, we had access to every video game that Nintendo made while we were at work, and we could check them out and take them home too. So like 40 hours a week, I'd be answering phone calls. Nintendo gameplay. This is Josh. How can I help you today? And I'd just be playing my Zelda or whatever in the background the whole time. And I spent a lot of time on Stardew Valley or Harvest Moon back in the day. I missed that job, man. I thought I was going to be working at Nintendo forever, because when you're like 19 years old, that's the dream job. You're working at Nintendo. You have access. I played the Virtual Boy before anybody even knew what it was.
So then Team Whistle Alley comes a little bit from that experience. Then that's kind of awesome.
Yeah. Nice. I put a lot of personal stuff into Team Whistle Alley just because I could. It was a first novel, and I had no clue really. But it's there's a lot
too, man.
It's coming, man. You helped me clear that little roadblock, so I think we're going to be good there. I wanted to continue it, but the way it was going forward was kind of too Blade Runner-y for me, so I needed to figure something out. And I think I got it.
It's funny, like having a second project to work on has actually sped up the work on my original project. Like after release in May, man, everything just went bananas. It was like I'm checking this.
Yeah.
It's this whole my level up was not smooth at all. And then I moved 3 times in the course of 2 months. Yeah.
You were telling me about this new project. Is it a secret or?
It's called the Echo Chamber.
Yeah.
Basically post-apocalyptic, weird style of character development. And you know,
You mentioned black goo or something, I remember.
yeah. So the thing is, Earth is basically about to be destroyed. The humans are about to destroy themselves as they always are, and aliens basically say, "Nah, we're going to come in and try to save your species." And so this black goo starts to rain all across the Earth, and it basically covers everything. It like swamps, buildings, and basically you cut to a character waking up in this small room, you know. So it's definitely like it starts off kind of like an escape room kind of thing where he's got to get out of this room, but he has no idea where he is, and he's basically one of the first to awaken.
I like
is
that.
what it
I like
is.
that. I mean, that's a good opening hook right there. That's I got a kind of a horror idea kicking around in my head that's got something similar for the opening scene. It's like a horror lit RPG.
Nice.
People have done
Yeah.
that, but this one's going to be more traditional. I mean, Angel's already got the zombie horror lit RPG cornered over there, so I'm going to do something more traditional along the Hostel or Jigsaw lines, something like that. I think
Oh,
that's way down the road though. But I pictured
moisturizing and Wells, yeah.
an opening scene where this guy wakes up like strapped to a chair, right?
Mm-hmm.
And like there's this monitor in front of him, and the monitor turns on, and he sees his own body like trapped in a VR rig at the very beginning. And I just think that would be a cool opening scene.
Like,
So like he doesn't
is
realize that he's in a simulation until this monitor turns on in front of him and shows him sitting in a VR rig, right? So he's like, "Oh crap, I'm in a simulation," but he can't get out. And then the bad guy comes and gives him some shit. I don't know where it goes from there, but I think that would be a cool opening.
Yeah, that's always a good opening because it can go anywhere from there.
So this one you're working on, is this going to be more adult oriented? Because I know you got the kid market cornered.
I'm trying. Yeah, this one will definitely be more for everyone. That way, everyone will hopefully enjoy my writing style. Because I know that Maya is not for everybody.
Are you going to make it? I mean, because you probably got a lot of younger fans. So are you going to make it so it's still accessible to younger fans, or are you just going to drop F-bombs out there?
There's going to be some F-bombs in there. It's like sometimes you just gotta say fuck it.
Yeah.
Like think about it. You wake up in a 10 by 10 room with not even sunlight, no windows, and you're just like, the fudge, man. It's like the fudge. It's like
you're gonna swear, that's for sure.
Like he basically starts talking to the ceiling like it's his, his Winston, his volleyball. Basically, it's like can a fucker get toilet paper? It's just rough for him, to say the least.
The toilet paper,
dude. Like, he wakes up completely naked in a room, no tools, no nothing.
I haven't purchased toilet paper since I married my wife. We installed a toilet hose on the side of our toilet. There's a little known fact about me.
Yo, that sounds amazing. I'm sorry, it's the way to go. It really is.
It is, dude. If you ever lived in Asia, or if you ever been to any Asian countries, and that's your only option is the toilet hose, you get used to it really quick. And it's hard. It's hard going back. It's like, how did I do this for 38 years of my life?
It's like I'm clean now. I'm clean. Oh.
It's high pressure too, man. That thing will skirt like 40 feet across the room if you let it.
It's like, don't spend too much time in there, man. Changing proclivities, just.
Oh God, yeah. I imagine what Jeff's doing right now, dude. He's probably.
Well, he's hating life
right now.
Well, he's been saying that that the lyrics are completely wrong, and he has to fix them so that he can do it right.
But there is no fixing them. I mean, when you listen to the original, it's like there's not much you can do to polish this turd, Jeff. I think you just wing it.
Well, but he wants to perform it correctly, I assume, because the lyrics that somebody gave him were wrong. So he's just fixing them so that he can read it, probably making rhythmic notations. So he's like, okay, this is a measure, this is a measure, this is a measure, this is in triplet, da 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 da. So
yeah, it's weird, man. It's like one of these days when we'll have like 3 great upcoming releases on this show, and like this cringe theater. I don't know. It's hard being. You Google Steam Whistle Alley and like one of the like page 2. There's a big photo of Chuck Tingle's cover there.
Oh
It's
my
something
God.
I'll forever. It's something I'll forever be associated with.
This is so fucking annoying.
Who's annoying?
Like the whole, I have to basically rewrite these fucking lyrics because none of them are right. None of them are correct. I almost want to cancel. Like, how long have you guys have just been going for like 10 minutes, right?
Oh, we're having a good old time, man.
Well, look, Jeff, if you cancel and the next week you actually have to make a music video of it and post it.
That's the problem. I don't want to have to like. I don't want to have to.
I think that's a fair trade-off if you cancel.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm okay with never hearing it if you do something entertaining.
I let that bitch suck my dick at White Castle. So,
who hasn't?
Let me go for like maybe 2 more minutes and we'll deal with what we got.
Raise his hand. I haven't. Oh no, that wasn't a high five. That was just who you said who hasn't. I raised my hand. I haven't.
I thought we were like White Castle Bros there for a second.
No. White Castle always seems a bit skeevy to me, but maybe that's because I live in a dirty city.
We don't have White Castle here. I've never seen one.
There was one in here. Sinful One is a lurker. I just like
we have
lurker.
We have a restaurant up here called Dick's Drive-In, and they make the cheapest, best burgers. And they've been in Seattle for 60 years. If you're ever in Seattle, go find some Dick's. It's good burgers, man.
Phrasing, but yeah. Wait, I'm trying to think. Did I go there? Did my friend Cyrita take me there? I think so. They have like milkshakes there, right?
Yeah, they got milkshakes, and it's just a walk up to the it's like a old 50s drive-in kind of thing, and they stay open until the bars close pretty much. So you go there and like burgers are like $1.29 or something crazy cheap.
I think I did go there. Huh.
Yeah, it's kind of a Seattle staple.
It's a standalone building, right? Oh, you said there's a bunch of them, so.
There's like 5. There's one. Yeah, there's like 5 of them around here, but it's kind of a local tradition whenever you come to visit. So you said you're going to Dragon Con this year, yeah?
I'm definitely trying to. Like, nothing's set in stone until I finish these books. Because right now, I want to be a writer. So if I'm going to be a writer, I got to go all in. And it's just like, if I can do that, I can get 4 books out this year, and I'll be really happy.
Yeah, I'm trying to get one of these out a month. This 8-Bit Bastard series. It's going to be fun. I don't want to give away too many spoilers yet, but it's going to encompass kind of all genres. So it's not going to be just the first 3 are going to be set in the fantasy kind of world, like kind of like a Final Fantasy inspiration, some kind of like that. But we're taking off in a rocket ship in book 4, so we're going to do a lot of the space genre as well. So it's going to be interesting to say the least. But
nice, yeah. Like I'm
after. Go ahead.
No, I was just about to say I'm really waiting, because one, I'm waiting to go in on the beta for 8-Bit, but I'm definitely waiting for Steam Whistle too.
Yeah, that's coming. I want to get these first 3 books out, and like I said, they're shorter books, so I mean, it shouldn't be that hard. And then I guess about halfway Steam Whistle 2 done, and I just gotta fix some stuff that went in directions I didn't want it to go in, like we talked about earlier. So. Yeah. It shouldn't be too hard.
I hate to pull the old, you got this, man. But
yeah. This, man. Well, it stares me in the face everywhere I look. I'm actually, I'm getting, those little decals you can get for your car that they cover the window and they got a bunch of little holes poked in them so you can see out.
Yep.
But they have whatever graphic. I'm making one of those. It's like $80 for my back windshield for 8-Bit Bastards.
Nice.
I'll say like support local authors or something like that.
That's
and it's gonna have the covers on there. Well, I drive for Uber now, so I mean it's like my car's everywhere around this city. So I mean it's like free advertising.
Pretty much, man. Shoot, if I had a car, I'd be like, hey, I'm stealing that idea.
That's it. I saw somebody actually had a whole van. Some self-published author actually decked out their van with their their whatever it was from their cover or whatever like that. You know, their big author branding and stuff like that. So they drove around this van with their book cover wrapped around the whole thing, pretty much. It was pretty intense, to say the least. But I don't know if I could go that far.
I think that's pretty badass, though. So I think
I could see like an A-Team style Ruins of Majesta van. You know, like
just like
that would be
I'm waiting till I get the 3 books. That way I can be like, check out Ruins of Majesta. And, got to finish off the the cover art as well. Because my cover is not the greatest. Oh, by the way, am I allowed to promo in here?
If Jeff doesn't say anything in the next 10 seconds, sure.
Jeff, am I allowed to make a promo for the book sale that's going on right now?
That he apparently doesn't object.
Okay, so what is it? James Osiris Baldwin put together a book sale with a bunch of other authors. It's got Harmon Cooper. Bonnie was in it, but unfortunately, she's just definitely check Bonnie's stuff. And there's an issue there, but I don't know how to say that and not detract from it. But yeah, read Bonnie's books. That's what I mean to say. It's got Harmon Cooper, James Osiris Baldwin, me. So my book is on sale for 99 cents. The post is up on GameLit. Where else is it up? It's posted up on Taj McCoy L on my page, my ENL page. Yeah, so just a bunch of books. Hold on a second. Wait, let me see if I can find a look. I usually had it open, but I don't have it open right now. I got to dig into my email. Boo.
James Baldwin actually lives not too far from me. I just realized this a couple weeks ago that he's up here in the Seattle area too.
Nice. You guys are probably having fun. See, you need to call and be like, "Hey, what are you doing?"
Yeah, man. How does that work when you? How does that work with Amazon when you put your book as part of a bundle like that?
It's actually James is doing it through his website.
Okay.
Kitty. Here's my kitty.
Hi, kitty.
This is Zoe.
Aww.
She's orange and she can be mean, which I love hers.
Annalise just said, "Did I miss the fragrant vagrant?" And she calls me Jason a lot too. Hi, Annalise. But she beta read my book, and there's this one part that said, "A rather fragrant vagrant approached them." And she's like, if you get an audiobook done for this, the narrators are going to put a hit out for you. And I was like, it's not that hard to say. And I tried to say it out loud, and the first time I nearly tied my own.
Yeah, the alliterative rhyming, they just.
Well, it's just saying fragrant vagrant. It's rather fragrant vagrant. It's not the easiest thing to say in the world.
That's one of those flourishes that you might find in hip hop music. Mm-mm.
Well, they say alliteration is frowned upon, but they don't say anything about
F and the V are very similar, so they get quite alliterative.
They're both labial frictives.
Oh, by the way, since Annalise is here, when I get my behind in gear, Annalise will be the audiobook narrator for my book. So
aww.
I'm looking forward to that very much. Yep.
And
also, Annalise, did you hear the news about the Fibble project? That Dave has decided to not make the Fibble plushies because it's too hard to get it right. I'm so sad about this.
My was Dave using the pattern from the Fibble that Annalise made?
Yes, to start, and then he was like, they just don't get the eyes right.
Mm-hmm.
Just to get Fibble, you got to have the eyes. Like, I don't know, like you might have to go for a hard plastic eye or an acrylic eye. Oh, and Annalise says she's like, I've been involved with all that, and it has been a effing nightmare. So yeah.
Well, Banjo Grace is my rear view mirror in my car, so he goes everywhere I go out there.
Well,
he's got prehensile legs and a prehensile tail, so he just kind of like hangs all monkey style from the rear view mirror.
And he has the monocle on, right?
Mm-hmm.
Good.
And sporting the bowler hat. His arms aren't prehensile, so they just kind of stood out to the side. So he looks like he's always about to hug you. It's kind of nice. Or he's happy to see you.
Oh, hey, it's Hank. Here, give me a hug.
Oh.
Oh, and then she's making something for Charles right now. Is it a fur ball? I would love to see a fur ball. Oh, okay. Here's the sale. So we have Void Legion by Terry Simpson for free. Free.
Be
I
right
like free. Oblivion from Jaeger Mitchell for free. Again, I love free. Dragon Seed by James Osiris Baldwin for free. I love free. Harmon Cooper books 1 for 3 for the feedback loop, or 99¢. CM Carney for the Barrow King, 99. Accidental Thief, Endless Online, Bonnie Price's Deck of Souls, Fate Seal, Arcane Kingdom, Pangea Online, who I can totally speak for. I love that's Stephen Rowland's work. David Petrie, World Tree, Party Hard. Oh, I said David Petrie, but it's Party Hard by David Petrie. Me, Ruins of Majestic, 99¢. Dawn Chapman's Puatera Online is on sale. What you call it? And KT Hanna's Somnia Online Initializing is on sale. So, yeah, just go to jamesosiris.com/litrpg. In fact, I want to see what happens when you just go to his page if it shows the sales link. So jamesosiris.com/litrpg/, and you'll be able to find it. As a matter of fact, I'll put it in the chat. They'll be on sale till Monday.
Right after I timed it right after you were done plugging
Oh wait,
that sale. Can you guys hear me still?
Yeah.
Okay. I practiced half a time. The rest of the time I was trying to figure out what the actual lyrics were. Yeah, this is some really idiotic shit. I can't wait to do this because I want to get it out of the fucking way. Thank you, Michael Ryan Soilo, for requesting this and making me do all the work editing the manuscript. But I did it. And so I'm just okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play it through YouTube, and I'm going to stop right after the fast part. Because
oh, good Lord.
What's that?
Nothing.
Okay.
I don't envy this task,
Yeah,
man. Go for it.
So this is it, guys. This is Donald Trump by Mike. I don't know how to pronounce his last name. Dece. I'm pretty sure he's joking. You know, like sort of. He's sort of joking. I think he's a Trump supporter, but he's also like making fun of himself in a way. I don't know. It's a weird combination of things. It's not effective, but it is something that will probably be funny for you guys to watch. So at least there's that.
My cat's not happy with it.
Yeah, everyone brace yourselves. This is Donald Trump by Mike Dece. Please excuse any inaccuracies. Like I said, I practiced half a time.
We accept that.
All right. Okay, it's going to be hard enough to do this. So if you guys can just mute real quick. And then when I'm done rapping, when I'm done laying down the, I don't know what they what to call it. When I'm done laying down the rhymes, you guys can unmute. So here goes. I was choking. I think I need to turn it up. Here we go. Brilliant beat making. Got a lot of money like I'm Donald Trump. A lot of bitches trying to fuck me like I'm Donald Trump. Pull up in a foreign whip looking rich as fuck. Told a bitch to suck my dick cause I'm Donald Trump. Donald Trump. Donald Trump. Got a wall around my crib like I'm Donald Trump. Donald Trump. Donald Trump. Yes, I'm very fucking rich. Ho, I'm Donald Trump. Trying to be the president like I'm Donald Trump. Got an AR-15 in my fucking trunk. And I got an army, so you're fucking done. Told a hoe get on her knees, it's time to suck me up. Got a bad bitch like that Melania. In the trap counting chips, I'm a rich slut. I got real estate, I got plates, I got big butts. Take this tape, private plane like I'm Donald Trump. All this fucking money, watch me count it up. All this fucking money, cause I'm bad as fuck. Never gave a shit, I still don't give a fuck. 100 million, bitch, I think I'm Donald Trump. All of this money on me like I'm Donald Trump. Oh, sorry. Here it goes. On a foreign whip, looking rich as fuck. Told a bitch to suck my dick, cause I'm Donald Trump. Donald Trump. Donald Trump. Got a wall around my crib like I'm Donald Trump. Donald Trump. Donald Trump. Yes, I'm very fucking rich. Oh, I'm Donald Trump. All of this money on me like I'm Donald. Fuck you like Fondle. I keep that cocaine on deck like I'm Ronald. All of these bitches, they bad like some models. I paint my nut on their face like Picasso. I let that bitch suck my dick at White Castle. She want to fuck, so I gave her a capsule. Yes, I'm improper. I'm also an asshole. Run up on me and your ass will get canceled. Turn on TV, I'm on every channel. Thinks it's so big that she can't even handle it. When I fuck her, she love how I have to. Bitch, I am Donald, so who the fuck are you? Got a new plane and got a new car too. All of this paper, I mean, no, I'm not you. I'm Donald Trump and I got all this guap too. And that, yeah.
Oh, that was hard to listen to. My grandmother used to sing that to me when I was a kid, man. It was
Oh, my soul is cringing, you said, Josh.
yeah.
Wow.
Got me a new ringtone, JS says.
Wow.
Oh, man. Whew.
So, Jeff.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
You know,
Oh, man.
you have to say no sometimes, man.
I don't know.
Something's just not worth it.
There's like, here's the thing. I have to save the no's for like the most extreme horrible shit. And I still think content-wise, this doesn't like everyone has to agree, you know, that you can't do it. This is still at least funny, haha. He has to do this. Like someone has to give me. I don't know.
What's an example of something that you've said no to?
I haven't said no yet. That's the
Yeah,
thing.
I want to know.
Said no yet. So,
Oh, we need to find something that he'll give an outright no to.
The next one, we just got to fill it with just the most despicable, horrible stuff.
Simple. If he tried to read
Twilight,
they'd probably sue him.
I do it. Do you think Jeff can do it? Do what in Boxy's voice? The Trump rap? I should have. Why didn't someone see? That would have made it so much more palatable, I think.
It would.
To do what?
To do the Trump rap in Boxy's voice instead of my own voice. Why didn't you request that, Soilo? You fiend!
Well, here, just read a couple bars like Boxy, just so we can get a taste.
Why didn't you request that? Yeah, now Charles is here.
He is here.
Now Charles is
right.
here. Did you miss the Donald Trump rap?
I wouldn't say he missed it.
I did not. We were watching the Donald Trump rap.
You just got done watching it? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Did it?
He was here for it.
Did it?
I watched the Donald Trump rap, and my first thought was, you shouldn't be allowed to do that again. And my second thought was, just never do that again. And then my third thought was, maybe you could ask for donations. And if you don't reach a certain amount of donations, you'll force that rap on people, because I feel like people would donate just to avoid that.
Yeah, maybe. What do you guys think in the chat? Would you donate?
I think
to prevent me from doing that ever again?
We need to start a new website called called Go Mute Me.
Nice.
Yeah, it's just a running list of banned things for me to not be able to read.
Oh god.
Don't read it. We'll send you money. You
Yeah.
don't need to do this.
I don't know.
Don't debase yourself.
You know, that's not fair. We shouldn't discourage Jeff from making a fool of himself. That is entirely why we gave him a YouTube channel.
It is more fun. Better him than me.
Stormy.
I only came on here because I was like, oh my god, there's Taj. What? And then I was like,
Yeah,
no.
like I was just in the chat. Like I've been missing Sound Blue Theater. Jeff, I really wish you would send out email alerts because sometimes I'm like away from the computer and not seeing stuff on Facebook.
Well, we, there is a schedule that we do regular every couple weeks. So every Sunday at 5, every other Sunday at 5 is the usual schedule. But
Oh, okay.
I think I should start including what's coming up for YouTube streaming in the newsletter. We just have to make sure to schedule stuff a couple weeks ahead of time because we only send out the newsletter once every 2 weeks.
Well, this is also one of those weird days where you have like 2 items happening today.
Yeah, that's true.
We've got the massive giveaway.
I kind of do want to end here in like 5 minutes because I want a tiny break between this stream and the next stream. Which
What he means to say is that he can't put up with me unless he's high, so he's about to go smoke one.
That's also yes, but okay.
Or he was just going to say that he can't be on the cast with like.
Donald, fuck you like Fondle. I keep that cocaine on deck like I'm Ronald. All of these bitches, they bad like some models. I paint my nut on. I paint my nut on their face like Picasso.
That's Boxy doing it.
No.
That would have been a lot
no,
more
just
palatable.
just read it like a poem, but like Boxy. Don't even go fast. Just like a bard.
No,
Like Boxy as a bard.
Just drumming.
no, that's enough. That's as much as I'm gonna do. That's why I cut it off right at the end of the fast part, just in case there's a little callback to do. But my soul is now fully.
We also want to hear what it sounds like as Stormy, though.
I can't. I can't remember who Stormy is.
Wait, how is that Boxy? Like, am I not thinking of Boxy, the Queen of the Trolls?
You are thinking of the wrong person. I don't know who Boxy.
You're thinking of a mimic named Boxy.
Boxy?
No, Boxy, Queen of the Trolls from the back of the day. Hold on.
I have no idea who the fuck you're talking about.
Can you? I'm gonna grab it and then I'm gonna share screen and then you can see Boxy, Queen of the Trolls because I just found it. Let me see. Share screen. This one. This girl.
What? That's. Is that the YouTube girl? What's her name?
Yeah, looks like.
That's Boxy.
That's no. I mean,
Literally, it's Love and Trolls by Boxy. With the video sparked the outrage that caused 4chan to go down for several hours because people were like trying to hack war over figuring out her information and spreading it.
hold on.
She was like one of the few people that's killed 4chan temporarily.
She is cute. Shoe on head. I thought that looked like shoe on head.
Boxy. She even says in the thing, "I'm Boxy." You see.
I mean, maybe Boxy is shoe on head. I don't know. She looks just like shoe on head.
Are you saying shoe on head?
Shoe on head, yes.
Okay.
Spell
But-
the on is spelled with a 0.
Well,
But
let's
yeah,
take a
Jeff
look.
does Boxy from Morningwood.
Yeah,
She
yeah.
is Boxy.
That's who it was.
Catherine Wayne, nationality American. She played Gaia Online.
I guess it's not her because well, wait, no, she is American. It could be her.
American.
Merkin.
I was thinking that she's
She's
Canadian.
Merkin.
She's actually dating a Canadian dude. That's what
She should apologize for that.
maybe. Okay, well, that was very painful. Thank you guys for sticking with me through that and preparing everyone.
I'm kind of like really surprised you don't know who the fuck Boxy was. Like, honestly, come on, Jeff.
I know.
I only know one
Yeah.
Boxy.
Your failures are.
One Boxy that's relevant to my life. So
This is why I've been getting boxes.
Amazon Boxy.
So thank you guys so much for coming and hanging out and putting up with the Trump rap and also the Declaration of Independence read by Miller. And
which Charles, you have to go back and listen to. It was amazing.
I'm going to. I just was spending some time with the wife because like this whole week I've been working like crazy. I'm up to almost 40,000 words for like the last 6 days.
Nice.
it's the eye makeup and it's
Right
also
on.
the puffiness of her cheeks and her nose. I don't know. Okay. We'll see you guys very soon. In a half hour, we are starting the.
Wait. Before they go, I have a serious question for you guys. Does my beard look extra shiny? Because I'm trying a new conditioner for my beard. You know, just throwing that out there.
Unless it's half hour.
I'm not seeing a higher degree of shine than normal.
Goodbye,
Come closer to the
everybody.
camera.
Fuck
Bye.
yourself.
Thanks for having me.
Description.
Randomly interrupting
Hey,
Jeff
Jeff.
so he doesn't get any
Jeff,
free time
before you
again.
go, man.
Fuck
For
yourself.
Jeff, just
Bye-bye.
thank you for having me, Jeff.
Bye. Thank you, Tom.
Thank you for having me. You've been amazing.
Bye.
Bye, everybody in the chat
Thanks.
for watching.